That was not too difficult to make. In fact, it's so easy. I can show you real quick everything that I did. All I went and did, which is all I went and did. It's not super easy, but it's not super difficult either. So it's the original picture. I did go in and used what tool is that? The smudge tool to smudge off the Tritachyon logo. And this tint and just about everything on here is actually done in CANVA. That is the hibiscus filter. The shadow is just colored and intensified to give the glow around it. And then for the rest, I took our boy here, made him a little bit transparent, and I went into GIMP. If you're not familiar with GIMP, it's like Photoshop, but free, and used a magic select to make all of the border around the gamma core transparent until I had enough that looked like a face. And then I added the sparkles to make that, a little, to make the eyes a little brighter and give it that whole intensify. And the sparkles were just like a random sparkle that I went onto Google and found. And it's just a matter of stacking them all in the right spot. Like it was that quick and easy. Once I also had to cut Menace One out of their portrait, but again, it's just a matter of opening in GIMP. In fact, I can show you that real quick. Mods, Star Sector, because I do this all the time for my regular thumbnails as well. Just grab someone, open with GIMP. That takes a second to load. And magic wand up here. Come in. We get that side. That got everything you can see. The other thing, is that what you want to do first is right click, go to layers, go to transparency, add alpha channel. That allows us to make it transparent. Because if we don't do that and we delete, it does this, which we don't want. So you want the alpha channel. Then when you delete, it goes away with the background. The other thing you want to do is some of them have a really weird border around them. It can look kind of awkward. So what I do for that is after I have them selected, I go into select and you go to grow, and that will grow what is selected. Usually just 1 pixel is enough. And if we do that, you see it gets rid of all that weird border on them. And they look a little bit cleaner than they did before. This one kind of looks a little fuzzy around the edges, a little sharper. And it's that simple. Once you have that, you go to File, Export As. You always want to export. You don't want to overwrite, because if you overwrite, it overwrites the actual picture. And then you just save it wherever you save it. And then once you have that ready, you just drag and drop into the program. I use CANVA. CANVA is free online. So I just drag and drop the different pictures and portraits and move them around, get them in the right spot, and we have an easy thumbnail. This one took me like, the part that takes the longest is usually trimming around, cutting them out of their portrait, because sometimes it leaves some undesirable elements, like I was saying before with the other guy. Like this guy before, the other day, I was like, oh, I hate how he came out. Well, I went in and I did that extra. I grew the select and trimmed him down a little bit more, so now he looks a little bit better. And these are actually much larger than the regular portraits, which you think would make it easier, but it actually made it harder in order to see how all their hair is done. It was really difficult to decide how much I wanted to work on getting those to smooth out, because I couldn't just use the shrink grow trick. I would have to actually get in there and individually trim parts, which was just too much. And that's because these are done with these are actual sketches that were digitized, so there's a lot of awkward lines and awkward shading that the magic wand gets confused about. I probably could have made it a little bit quicker, but I was just like, all right, I just need to get it done with. Honestly, I probably should have hid her somewhere else instead of putting her front and center, I definitely could have done better work over here. And I probably end up going back in and changing that before I actually use this on a video. But yeah, truth comes out. Gamma Menace 1 is a Gamma Core. The idea is that Menace 1 is, after the accident, does become a cyborg. And if you'll notice on the, I was very specific where I put the wounds on her. She got headshot. So, specifically 2 to the head. So, yeah, to reconstruct the brain to make her, functional again. Yeah, she's a cyborg. She got brain implants. She's got a gamma core inside. But it's still Menace 1 is in charge. It's more like RoboCop. Even though she's very heavily influenced by Samus, a bit of RoboCop in there as well.